Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. And real quick before we get started today, I just wanted to let anybody know that has sent me a case to cover. Just a couple days ago, I lost a lot of information on my app and had to reload a bunch of stuff. I know I've told most of you, but if you didn't see that video, so it's not that I forgot about your case or haven't done it, I just need to redo a lot of cases. So in any event, today's case is we're going to be talking about the very odd and mysterious disappearance of Elaine Park. Now, I know I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with this case, but for those of you that aren't, and those of you that are, maybe you'll learn something new. I tried to go through this case as much I could and find out all the details of it. It is a very, very bizarre case, and this takes place in the Los Angeles area of California. She went missing on January 28th of 2017. She is roughly 5 foot 5 inches tall, weighed roughly 125 pounds. She's got brown hair and brown eyes. Her hair was roughly about waist length with blonde tips the last time she was seen. She is of Asian Korean descent. She was 20 years old at the time of her disappearance. She has her ears and nose pierced. She also has a bunch of tattoos, one of a dagger and flowers on her right arm, a rose on her left shoulder, and a cow skull and a moth on her left arm. She was last seen wearing a white sweatshirt, denim shorts, and maybe gray sweatpants. There's some of this that is sort of up for debate, and we'll talk about that more later. Unfortunately, Elaine does suffer from depression at times, but she was doing great, and she was known to have a great personality. She was very artistic. Apparently, she made friends really, really easily. And she was living at the time with her mother in La Crescenta, California, which is north of Los Angeles. She went to Crescenta Valley High School, and she had a very large group of friends. And she had gotten into, after graduating high school, she was attending Pierce College in Los Angeles, but she had recently dropped out right around the time of her disappearance. She was also working at a local restaurant, but apparently she had lost that job again right around the time of her disappearance. But she was an aspiring actress, and she loved art and poetry, musical theater, and she had had small roles in many TV shows and movies before she went missing. She had parts in movies like Crazy Stupid Love, Role Models, ER, Mad TV, and Desperate Housewives. I mean, she was doing awesome for a 20-year-old aspiring actress in Hollywood. I mean, to me, that is an amazing resume. According to Elaine's mom, Susan, the last time she saw her daughter was on January 26th, and she reported that she was, just hanging out, lying on the sofa, and then she later went in and packed some things in one of her duffel bags, some makeups and some other things that apparently she usually did when she went to stay with friends. And then on Friday, January 27th, Elaine and her mother spoke via text. And in that conversation, Elaine told her mother that she was leaving in an Uber with her boyfriend, and they were going to see a movie around 10 p.m. that night. Now, Elaine was in this relationship. It was supposedly an on-again, off-again boyfriend whom she was with that night that she went missing. This boyfriend, his name is Div Kumper, and he is apparently the son of a very successful Hollywood businessman, Shakim Kumper, who I guess has a very successful business with other Hollywood celebrities, and they lived in this gated community in Calabasas, California. So according to him, on that evening, they went to the movie as planned around 10 p.m. They didn't return home until it was around 1 a.m. They went inside, and she was staying the night, but apparently very early in the morning, he said that she woke up around 4 a.m. and she looked like she was experiencing some kind of a panic attack. She was shaking, singing, and acting very oddly. He claims that he tried to calm her down and get her to stay. However, she brushed him off, and she got dressed, and she left roughly 2 hours later at 6:05 a.m. Now, there is security footage of her scene leaving, but there's security footage of the car too, but you can't see if she's the one driving the car. Anyway, the car drives away, and apparently the driveway camera stopped recording. Now, this gated community security, that it only records the vehicle license plate. It does show Elaine's car leaving the community at 7:14 a.m. And the discrepancy there is because police later said that the cameras may not have been updated with the time change and that it could very well be 6:14 a.m. However, this has never been confirmed or disproven, so that's still up in the air. So this time gap between 6:05 and let's say 6:14 a.m., people always are that have reviewed this case, they're wondering about that 9-minute time gap, because the drive from her boyfriend's house up to the gate's entrance should have only taken a few minutes, and they say that that time gap seems too long for it to have taken her to get there. I don't know. This surveillance footage has been reviewed for years now and by so many people, and no one has ever found anything else. But moving on with this case, Elaine's mother tried texting her on January 28th. However, she got no response, and then she tried calling her phone several times, and she stated that it would shut off after 2 rings, which personally I found odd. We'll talk about that in a little bit. She started to feel a little bit of panic, but she wasn't actually concerned or worried at that point, because Elaine had done this before, just had maybe her phone off or just was off with some friends. But when Susan tried to call her daughter on Sunday, and on Monday she still got no answer, she contacted the Glendale Police Department to file a missing persons report. The police subsequently told her that it would be a voluntary missing persons report, and when a person is reported missing and there's no evidence of foul play, it's classified as a voluntary missing person. Now, I don't know, that sounds kind of bizarre to me. I don't know whether it's different in different states, but I think a missing persons case is a missing persons case. But the police did get to work, and they were trying to ping her cell phone, and they finally did get a ping on it. And on February 2nd, which was 5 days after Elaine had gone missing, they found her car, which is a 2015 charcoal gray Honda Civic, and it was found abandoned on the side of the road roughly 20 miles from the boyfriend's house on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. Now, this was roughly a 45-minute drive from his home. Her car was found with all of her stuff inside it, like her cell phone, her laptop, her ID, her keys. I mean, everything. The keys had been left in the ignition. The battery was dead. All the doors were unlocked. It was a very bizarre scene. Now, once they found the car, then the police really vamped up their investigation. But they did note to Elaine's mom, Susan, they told her, well, look, there was no signs of a struggle. There was no blood found in the car, no signs of foul play. Elaine probably left the car voluntarily. They brought in bloodhounds. They brought in drones, ATVs. They brought in a dive team and the Coast Guard to search the beach there, the cliffs, the shore, various parts of the ocean, and they found no trace of Elaine. And at that time, the investigators kept stressing to her mom, they kept saying that they believe that she may have taken her own life, but they definitely believed that she had voluntarily left, and they didn't believe foul play was involved, which personally I disagree with. From the start of the investigation, Elaine's mother had put up a $500,000 reward for information leading to the whereabouts of her daughter. However, that reward expired on Elaine's 21st birthday, and I know that the police did refuse to search Elaine's boyfriend's house, and they told her mom that she had most likely committed suicide or ran away to start a new life. And of course, Susan didn't believe this, and I personally don't believe it either. It doesn't really make any sense, especially with the information we have. So she hired a private investigator, a guy by the name of Jaden Brandt, and he personally didn't believe the police's theory either. He actually thinks that foul play was involved in Elaine's disappearance. Now, he's no longer working the case. This was years ago, but that was his position at the time. The police, on the other hand, have claimed they won't rule out foul play, but they say there's no evidence to prove anything. And Brandt, the private investigator Brandt, brought his findings to the police. However, apparently they dismissed his evidence, saying it was a bunch of theories with no real hard evidence. And oftentimes that's how these things go. I mean, that's all you can have is theories. Looking at this map, so where the boyfriend's house is or was, and how long it would take to drive to where her car was found, and then its proximity to Calabasas is a little suspicious because it's not that far away. Now, some of the theories that are more popular in this case, or if you will, one theory is that her boyfriend was somehow involved, and since he had all these ties in Hollywood, he somehow got away with it. And, hey, it's plausible. I don't know if it's true, but some believe that after she left the driveway and the camera stopped recording, he followed her and something happened after that. Of course, this is all speculative, but according to witnesses and people at the time, he didn't really seem too upset about her disappearance. Now, who knows? That could be looked at two ways. They were in this on-again, off-again relationship, but still, it does seem a little odd that he wasn't upset or concerned at all. But who knows on that one? This is all we can do is speculate. Now, another theory was that she was abducted after leaving her boyfriend's house. She was driving down the Pacific Coast Highway. Maybe the panic attack that had started earlier came back and she pulled over. Maybe somebody stopped to help her, but he was a bad person. Or maybe her car broke down there. I mean, who knows? It's just very hard to say, but that's really all we have is the fact that the car was found there with all her belongings. Now, the fact that all her belongings were found in the car with the keys in the ignition and her cell phone in the car, that to me does not eliminate the foul play. In fact, it's the opposite. In my opinion, the fact that all her belongings were left there, that is an indicator of something nefarious that happened. Because let's think about this. Here, this girl was doing well. Yes, she did suffer with depression at times, but here she had just been out with her boyfriend. They went to a movie. Yes, she did apparently wake up with a panic attack, but that's really all we know. Why would she just leave her car right in this one spot? And why would she just leave all of her stuff behind? Why wouldn't she take her purse or her phone? I mean, this to me indicates that something bad happened to this woman. If, she was going to commit suicide, why would she just pull over at the side of the road there? And okay, if she did, where was she? I mean, they did an extensive search of that beach and all along that highway a couple days after she went missing. How did they not find her? I mean, this is a very urban area. It's not like out in the middle of the woods where there's, I don't know. I just find it very suspicious that all her items were found in the car, and so did the private investigator, and so does her mom, and so do a lot of people that have studied this case. So I think when we look at the facts of this case, it's just very bizarre, and I think that there's just one piece that we're missing, or maybe one or two pieces, just to put this all together. And her mom has worked so hard to find justice and to obviously find her daughter and bring her justice and figure out what happened to her, because none of it makes any sense. Her mom has just done so much to keep this search effort alive. She posted a new reward for $140,000 for any information leading to Elaine's whereabouts. She started a Facebook page with, she's just done so much to try and get more leads and clues, and she's done her best to try and keep the police involved, but she doesn't feel like they've really done as much as they could. And that's just, I understand that any parent in this situation would be just exasperated, and this still is an open, active investigation, and if you have any information on this case, you can call the tip line at 1-800-551-3080, or the Glendale Police Department at 818-548-4911. Who knows what happened in this case, but it's my thoughts, just based on the evidence and what we do know about Elaine. I just don't think that she would have gone off that night to kill herself, and based on her stuff being left behind, I think something bad did happen. But please let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts on or theories if you have any on this case, and I'll definitely have more information in the description, links to various sources if you'd like to do further reading, and of course the tip line if any of you happen to have any information regarding this case. Of course, I'd like to dedicate this video to Elaine Park, and of course her mother and family and friends and everyone who knows her and everyone who's working to try and bring her home. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, and I just hope that she can be brought home soon, one way or another. I want to thank everybody for watching, as always, and please be respectful in the comments if you choose to leave them. Just remember, this is somebody's family member, someone's loved one. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me till the end. And I just wanted to say that so far I haven't gotten any emails from any of the winners of the fanny pack giveaway. So if I don't hear from you in the next couple of days, I'm just going to select new winners. And yeah, I announced the winners a couple times in previous videos. So please get in touch with me. If you heard your name announced, just send me your address and I will get out to you your prize. And please, if anyone has any suggestions for cases, always just send me an email. I'll have that information in the description as well. And I hope everyone is looking forward to a nice weekend. I'll see everyone in the next one. Take care. The winners of the giveaway. The first is Michelle Gevart, Gevaert. Second is Donald Brandit, Brandit. And then I do have a bonus winner, and that is Rachel Kelly and Iceberg Arc Aaron. If you heard your name in there, just please send me an email with your address. Then I'll get your prizes right out to you. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you next one. Take care.